this week's soul guidance reading. For some reason the camera cut out on me, so hopefully it's not going to do that again. Anyway, I'll keep an eye out. So I'm changing the format this week into a shorter version, as I have other and many other work commitments that's coming for the time being. And I'm going to experiment with a different type spread and just keep it quite simple rather than the sort of long extended readings I've been doing that's been coming up to about 40 minutes and 50 minutes on some weeks. And we'll just see how it goes. So getting into the reading, I've opened 3 cards from the Osho Zen Tarot, and interestingly the cards have opened up with the 9 of Wands, the Breakthrough card, and the Moment to Moment, which I actually love. I haven't used these cards for a while, and these are one of my favorite tarot decks. And as it's the soul guidance reading, I tend to use cards that sort of speak to me from that inner kind of soul humanistic level. Okay, so I feel like some of you have been coming in from the week. What's just been recently passing is the fact that you have come from a very difficult or very busy time. For some as well, that it could be quite an exhausting time that you've been going through. It could be actually literally because it's been very, very sort of, here in the Northern Hemisphere, some of us have been experiencing really extreme weather conditions, in the sense it's been very hot. And here in London, we are experiencing the sort of temperatures from 34 to 36 degrees centigrade, which is really quite hot, to say the least. I've also got all my windows open, so there might be some passing by conversations or traffic that you might hear, so just bear with the noise if you do hear it, so I apologize for that. Anyhow, so yes, there's been quite a lot going, and I feel like some of you feel that in some way. My message actually is there is more to one path. Be open and a quickening of movement. Okay, let's see. So those who've been following me weekly, I tend to sort of do a guided meditation or quick meditation before I start, and I ask Spirit for a message, and this is what I got downloaded today. So there is more than one path. Be opening, a quickening of movement, which is really interesting because these 3 cards that, in my view, that's popped out are very much sort of almost an extension or an expression of that. I mean, if I were actually in this path, this is somewhere where somebody's really disgruntled, feeling unhappy, there's a lot of darkness in that card, and you can see that. I feel that somehow that you're almost wanting to look out to see if there's anything else possibly in the horizon, although you feel a bit worn out and wondering if you've got any options. For some of you, you might like to try your hand on different things, and feel like in some way that you've actually, some of you as well, has been working almost like a machine, and things that are not fulfilling you, or if you have been stuck in a situation like that, you might actually want to be looking at what you can call in and bring into your life that will give you more energy and more vibrancy and more vitality, rather than doing things that are kind of exhausting to you. So this could be also mental exhaustion, perhaps where you're actually feeling that you're not really enjoying your work, and you're really just feeling, sort of staying with the safety of this job or the work that you're doing, and somehow it's beginning to now seep into your being, and you're finding that you need to sort of connect to your heart chakra, and the heart very much so would be of great benefit for some of you, so you can actually be led from the heart and actually start sort of exploring what you can find and what you can see ahead in order to give you that possibility. Otherwise, you are going to run yourself into exhaustion, if not already, and some of you definitely be coming from a place of exhaustion. If this is related to a relationship, again, some of you might want to review where you are at in a relationship, because there's some dynamic that you've actually come out of that's been exhausting, or you have found that you've had a situation, you're overthinking, and you're actually now feeling exhausted by the thinking of it. Okay, I might open maybe some clarifiers to see which way this is going. But looking at the card, is I think what we're here looking at as the week goes on is there's going to be a breakthrough, okay, a need for a breakthrough, and it might be one that's going to be a physical action on your part, where you're actually going to have to break away and decide that you're going to actually move forward from something that has been stopping you. This also could mean a mental breakthrough on your part as well, where maybe you've been overcoming some mental thinking, some limited thinking on your part, maybe where you have been stuck in the way that you've been thinking about yourself, about your life, about your finances, and all the possibilities. Okay, it's really important that you really recognize that you have various options. Okay, it is up to you to break free from them, and I think in this case that you will definitely be breaking through I feel like in some way you've kind of got to a sort of a maximum limit. Yeah, a maximum limit of your ability to sort of put up or tolerate with whatever. So this could actually be, if it was a relationship, some of you could be actually thinking about leaving a relationship and you've had enough and you're actually really breaking through. Or you might have had some communication that could be going on and you are having a breakthrough with that communication. It could also mean, or what's coming to me right now, is perhaps there was some lack of communication actually, and some communication is coming in after much lack of movement, or sort of say a situation that got quite stagnant, where there was no communication or even just stagnation was sort of present, and there will be some breakthrough regarding some communication or somebody reaching out. And this will come out from the blue, by the way. So be prepared. There could be something that is just going to kind of come out from nowhere. I do know that we've also got a bit of Uranus, or that reminds me, rather than knowing, that reminds me that there is Uranus going retrograde, and I think it's in the kind of the readjustment period. So with Uranus going and playing a part and going retrograde again, there could be a very Uranian situation happening, and Uranus is all about sudden movement, explosives. We've been seeing that, sort of in the world, and some things unexpected, out of the ordinary, and things kind of almost coming down like a thunder, or just, I've got in here a quickening of movement. So also it could be that for some of you there could be some news that's coming suddenly that's going to put you back on a trajectory, but it's going to be quite fast, almost like an 8 of Wands, if you're on the normal tarot, a sense of communication that could be coming in fast, and where you might be linking up with people as well in a much more hurried manner. So just be aware of that. That could be very much what's going on. The third card, I've opened only 3 tarot cards this time. Normally I open a lot more, but I'm sticking to those 3, and I've got Moment to Moment, another favorite card of mine. So despite the fact that we've got some unexpected communication or some unexpected action or something coming in from the blue or going out from the blue, and actually I feel this is actually coming in from the blue. It could be in from out of the blue, but it could be you having an insight from something that's been brewing and suddenly exploding out. Okay, so but it could be actually freeing yourself up. But whatever happens, this is really important that you actually ride it out and go moment to moment. Okay, try not to think ahead too much, trying to stay present. Yeah, you might find yourself in an indecisive point where you actually don't know whether you're coming or going, and don't know what decisions to make. But I have a feeling that when you go moment to moment, so if you just take each day as it comes, and even if it means an hour at a time, you will find your footing in the situation that might have come out of the blue. If you were to get into your head about it, I feel that some of you are going to get back to this point, which is about feeling quite exhausted. All right, so it's really, really important that you actually stay present and you continue just to act on getting your balance, getting the harmony, despite possible movements that could be quite uncomfortable. Okay, I feel that there could be a lot of waves about something. Okay, something that could disrupt your structures as well, and you might find that you need to definitely keep a stable footing and keep your eye focused in the direction you want to go. Okay, if you find yourself suddenly being toppled over due to this sort of unexpected news, unexpected breakthrough, or something in fact crumbling down, do know that you need to keep yourself focused and balanced. Okay, so do anything that will keep you safe, keep you nurtured, and keep you solid. Okay, you might find that one foot is off the ground a bit, and it is really important that you keep yourself, like I said, if you're on a kind of a tightrope, if you ever see tightropers, or if you're in fact walking on anything that's quite narrow like a plank of wood, you've got to keep your eye focused on where you're going rather than looking down at your feet, where you start sort of seeing the ground all a bit shaky. Okay, so as soon as you get into your head, because we tend to be looking downward into the ground when we're in our heads, okay, be present, just be in your body, keep your feet one step ahead at a time, and keep your gaze focused, and you'll find that you're able to be leading yourself, even if you don't know where you're quite going. But for those who do know where they want to go, start keeping your eye on the goal rather than the disruption that could be happening around you. So there will be definitely some disruption that could be occurring. I decided to use the Sacred Rebel cards as well today, which is by Alana Fairchild. I haven't used them for a while, and as I was getting ready to shuffle them, and as I was shuffling them, one popped out, and I felt that again with my message, this was actually very true, so I decided to keep it out. Okay, or you know, I just got the feeling that it was good to keep it in. So this kind of brings, I think, it quite nicely, this card that says, what do you feel? So I think in some way, some of you are definitely going to have some options, which is going to actually take you on a path that maybe you weren't even expecting. But what's important is to follow your truth and follow what you feel rather than what somebody else might be feeling, or you feel that you need to do or ought to do due to the situation you're in, or in a relationship you could be finding in, or for maybe even what you've done for a very long time. I think you need to look at your options really clearly and look at for the finer details of the options that are ahead of you. Okay, and even if you can't see all the finer details clearly, just know that something is coming towards you. I'm looking at this earth again. So she's got the orange in one hand and the apple in the other, so she's juggling those, and she could be juggling the third one, which looks like the earth really, or some kind of marble, but it's actually an earth. Yeah, so this is like her vision. She's actually looking at it, so maybe she's got two options, you know, which is interesting because this moment to moment card as well, which is the other card, technically, and in the traditional tarot, it is actually the Two of Coins. All right, which is very much about not knowing whether you're coming and going, having two options possibly as well. All right, or actually having things rock the boat, or not unable to make a decision, or things coming out of the blue that it's actually rocking your world, which is really similar to this. So she's juggling the orange and the apple, maybe something she's used to, but what's really important is that she's got her sight on something else. So there might be a situation that there might be a third situation, or I wouldn't say third party, but definitely a third possible option that you might want to consider that might come out of the blue, or you might find that one has to fall in order for you to be able to see yourself forward clearly. Okay, so I'm going to pull another one of the Sacred Rebel cards. Now I have given them a bit of a shuffle, and I'm just going to see if there's anything else that this card wants to, or this deck wants to speak to me about. Yes, okay, yeah. So definitely, I feel like, again, this is called bring it into form. So this is definitely some opportunity that's going to be coming in, or an idea that you've had. You might find that actually you want to work with some other people to make this happen, or you might actually hire somebody like a coach or a mentor or somebody to help you bring your ideas into form. But it is really important now that you find that it is time to take the step forward. Okay, yeah, you know, I'm really getting this feeling that for many it is time to start putting one foot forward in front of the other, and even leaving something behind, you know, and not worrying about whether you're leaving something behind, but trusting where you're actually being led. Okay, this is really important, that whatever ideas and inspiration also is coming to light, that you actually have the capacity and have the ability, and it is kind of divine's love for you that is actually asking you to bring the inspiration and start grounding it and bringing it into form. Okay, so I'm going to use these two cards here as the cards. So really, there is definitely some kind of breakthrough. Like I said, it could be an inspirational breakthrough, but the way you can check in on the foundation, that foundational level, is to really check in with what it is that you feel about it, and really recognize what it is that you need to do. If you need to get your kind of, this is for a woman as well, I have to say, that if you need to get your kind of like masculine hat on, or the masculine side of yourself into place, then do. Okay, so maybe what I'm saying is, it's a less time, while it's coming from the heart, it's a less time to be emotional about it, but come more from a logic or a feeling level of what would serve you. Okay, I know there's a bit of a contradiction there, because feeling is to do with the nurturing and receptive side, but I feel that there's some action that you need to take in terms of how you want to structure and move forward. Okay, and in order to do that, you're going to bring that into form by taking the right steps forward to make that happen. Okay, for some of you working with the chakras, again, I really recommend that, and that's because I just suddenly noticed all these colors of the chakras are really poignant. You know, typically the root chakra of rooting yourself, the monk here on the image as well. I feel that, okay, some of you really need to keep yourself grounded, and really maybe sit on a rock. You know, interesting, last week we had, not last week, the week before, there was the Sacred Path cards, which is about stone people. Okay, big stones, you know, if you can sit somewhere like big rocks, if, you know, anywhere that's got big stones, or you can hold stones or crystals, will be of really great benefit, where you can actually get some guidance or some stability. Okay, you really need to get your stability from something solid right now. And perhaps this is also looking about creating something solid in your life that's going to give you a stronger foundation for the future. So if everything's been rocky or kind of a bit wishy-washy for some of you, it is really time now to start laying the sort of steadiness and carving your path for a stronger, steadfast life. All right, so a really steady life, because otherwise you're going to keep on looping back round to feeling kind of exhausted and not getting anywhere. But I feel that the energy and the quickening of the movement is really what's happening for many, and that is something you need to follow and consider. And if this is speaking to you, do let me know, but I feel that this will be speaking to some of you in particular. Okay, I've got a couple of angel cards on the table that I randomly chose before starting, again while I was sitting doing some sound meditation, chakra meditation, and I decided to bring these into the reading. The first card I picked. So despite the fact we're moving forward, I picked the angel card of patience. Oh, all right, which is for that card which I wanted to put. So again, this is something that you're going to be building up together. Okay, so I feel like we're going to be in a bit of a duality of energy, which is, while there's a quickening of movement, you've got to understand whatever it is that you might have to make a decision quite quickly, or you might get a quickening of ideas or inspiration, but whatever it is, it's going to take a while to build up as well. Okay, so this is not a magic wand situation where you're going to be able to get the wand and suddenly things come to you in the sense that it is suddenly there. Okay, this is something you're going to have to put together, collaborate possibly, but build up stitch by stitch. Okay, you know, there's an angel here knitting, you know, and anyone knows who's done any knitting, unless you're doing a really sort of, even doing a simplest of scarves, you know, you have to go row by row and it sort of grows. So this is something about getting things in order, putting things in line, you know, and building up one step at a time, literally one situation at a time. And again, comes back to this one moment at a time. So do have patience, okay? And even let yourself know that this is going to take some time, because it's going, in order to bring it to form, there's going to have to be some patience for that to happen. But it does not mean to say you're not on the right track. All right, the next one I'm going to okay, we've got here for the breakthrough card. So I think definitely for some of you, there's going to be the inspiration. I've got the angel of inspiration. So to do with the breakthrough, I feel that in some way there is going to be an unexpected, inspired scenery, if you like, or a possibility that you weren't actually aware to begin with, but it will suddenly crop up and you'd see yourself getting quite excited about making that a possibility. All right, like I said, it would come out of nowhere. It could be like a eureka moment, and it will feel very, you know, inspiration in Latin, or the word is inspire, I think, and it's to do with in spirit. So to be in spirit, and if you can really start engaging, living your life out of that inspired self, you know, to be in spirit in every action or jobs you take, then you're a very, very fortunate person and be living quite a rich and wealthy life. And ultimately, that's what you want to be aiming for. But you will definitely, some of you will definitely have seen something you were not expecting to see, or something you've been working towards that's suddenly going to give you the kind of picture of where it's going, or where it could possibly go. Okay, so I'll come back to that. Right. Okay, what's really important here as well, the final sort of angel card that I chose, which is under the exhaustion card. I feel this is actually a really good combination. I've got the angel card here. Is that anyway, sometimes it takes too long to get but integrity is so important. It's when we lack integrity, okay, when we're not being honest with ourselves, all right, that's when we start getting exhausted. When we say yes, when we want to say no, right, That's when we get exhausted, when we do jobs or go out with people or do things that where we don't want to be in, right? You know, that is lacking integrity, and that's what creates exhaustion. Okay, you know, simple as that. It's not rocket science. It's really important, and that's how you can actually measure whether you are on the same truth in yourself. So I feel in some way, some of you definitely, as the week has sort of opened up, you'll be recognizing that you need to possibly be in integrity to yourself. Okay, you need to really be in the field of your own heart and truth. So remaining in integrity and maybe negotiating a situation that you're in, or finding that you're in, or maybe even needed to leave because it lacks the congruency or integrity to you. Maybe what's had heart or felt right for you is no longer right, or you know that it's just going to exhaust you in the long term or long run, or even already coming into the week, because the way I've laid the cards down, while it's not structured solidly on that, it sort of is that you're actually contemplating a situation that you know that can be quite exhausting, so you'd rather not be in it. Okay, it's very important as well that in any relationships that you are in, whether it's a personal relationship or work relationship, if you are feeling energetically drained by somebody, or you know that the relationship isn't going to honor all your needs, then it lacks integrity on your part, and that's going to only exhaust you emotionally, mentally, and spiritually. Okay, so some of you might actually be having this sort of awareness, eureka moment of what's been happening, and there's going to be a quickening of movement to actually leave the situation or to move on to something else. So again, just very quickly, just to say, the message for this week is there is more than one path. Be open, a quickening of movement. Okay, so what other delicious cards? I've got another deck. This is new to the readers, to the viewers here. It's a beautiful deck. I love it. I've had it for some while, and it's called the Spirit Animal Wisdom deck. They're absolutely beautiful. They're beautiful because they also feel, I love the tops of them, and they also feel really lovely in the hands as you shuffle. So I'm gonna choose an animal totem card. I think we'll just do one. Okay, because it's an animal wisdom card, it will give you some advice or some guidance about what we need to be doing possibly to get through this week, or what energy or animal we could be calling in to support us during this week. All right, okay, wow. All right, this is called the dragon card. Okay, so this is almost very like the breakthrough, isn't it? The dragon has a fire coming out of its mouth going, you know, and it says Gaia's gateway, so access Earth's inner wisdom. I'm going to actually read the, I'll show you the card though. All right, here's the card. Okay. So you can call in the power of, so if you do any kind of visualization or imaging in your mind, sort of take 5 minutes of your time to sort of call in the energy of the dragon, and take yourself on a sort of imaginative journey with a dragon and see where you might go. You might actually want to burn things off. You might actually want to burn a certain job off. You want to maybe draw a fire line, you know, with a dragon, you know, towards your sort of nemesis or somebody that you want to leave out. You can actually use the power of your mind and visualization very powerfully. And what's great about it is not only is that in spirit, or sort of kind of like an inspired way of doing visualizations, but also trusting that these images or imaginings you're doing are actually invoking the power of change, or whatever it is that you actually want to have. Okay, so this is accessing Earth's inner wisdom. Let's see, it says here, dragon symbolizes powerful nature and elemental spirits as well as transformation. They come to... Okay, I was just in the middle of editing the video when I noticed and realized that in fact the camera, I knew it had quit on me, but I didn't know at what point. So I was completely off and missed quite a bit of a chunk. So we were at the gateway, Gaia's gateway, the dragon card, when I was actually mid-reading and the camera quit on me. So I'm just going to continue with what the dragon, sort of from the book, and I can't even find it, I haven't even looked at it, I just went straight into the camera. So, okay, page 63. Okay, so coming back to what I was saying about the dragon, because the camera split and now the battery's going to quit on me. That is, so I'm not having a good day with recording today. But just to sort of say, it is basically helping us on a path of mystical energy, aligning us with the soul's energy, okay, and our soul's mission, and the earth and her healing. So this is calling us on to be able to actually really align ourselves to make the changes and the transformation we need. All right, the affirmation or the prayer, it says that we need to call on Merlin, who is the keeper of the dragons here on earth. So it is wise that we invoke him and ask for his guidance. On this path, sometimes there are vibrations come in very strongly, so ask that they ease you in. And I have included a meditation to meet your guardian dragon below. Okay, so the prayer goes like this. Merlin, I ask that you guide me on this path to welcoming in my dragon. Please help me assimilate the higher frequencies at the rate that my body can manage, and for a lasting connection with the dragon that wishes to be known to me. I will put that in the description box as well, so you can actually just use it as a little prayer. You can sort of copy and paste it. But do call on dragon energy and do get permission from Merlin, and just basically invoke that you have the right power to be able to use the power of the dragon to be able to transform and transmute whatever you need to do. The other thing I also noticed that had been cut out is I drew 2 chakra cards. One didn't even get included in the image at all, and that was a card of grounding. So this is really important that we actually ground ourselves, and no matter what is going on, no matter what change is happening that could have toppled your world, or you actually feel that you just need to settle yourself down, it is a really good thing to actually be grounding yourself by going outdoors, connecting to a tree and getting yourself rooted. You can also do this quite visually as well by imagining roots growing from your feet or from your sit bones and see them seeping down into the earth energy. This is the Earth Star chakra card from the chakra reading cards by Rachel Charman. Okay, it's a really beautiful deck of cards and book, and I use them often for my own personal meditation or chakra practice. But the cards to support you for this week is definitely to be grounded. Okay, and the other one is play, which is to do with your heart chakra, which is really important in terms of getting the right inspiration and creativity as well. We need to play. So I will just leave it here because I know the next clip is actually going to talk more about this card. I was telling you and reading you about the play. I have no idea where I got to, but I'll continue. So, being playful and playing actually really helps to cleanse the mind, body and spirit as well. So it is really a natural state to play and have fun. And I think most of us, all of us included, that we get so hijacked by work or expectations of ourselves as well as others that we tend to forget to play. And I'm not talking about a kind of play on Facebook or anything like that. I'm talking about a physical play, be it sport or some kind of activity that's actually just fun. It could be, playing around with your coloring book or whatever it is, your sense of play. But I do feel that in order to really stimulate and really be connected to your heart, I suggest going outdoors while the weather's good and really enjoy yourself, particularly in the water, as this particular heart chakra has got a lot of water element around it. And of course, the dolphins are always a symbol of playfulness and joy. Okay, the other card, as I've already discussed, is the card of grounding. So very important, again, being in nature. The grass is not so green anymore because we've had such a heat wave here in the UK that most of it is very dry. But do connect to the tree and call in the power of the tree from the Mother Earth. Okay, draw it in and and just really connect to your grounding, to yourself. It is really important to be grounded at this time. It says here, my energy is completely grounded into the healing energy of the earth. So that's a really wonderful visualization already, the healing energy of the earth. Okay, so just know that you get all your healing and all the elements of support, love, nurturance and guidance also from Mother Gaia and from the earth itself. Okay, the most powerful way to do this, to align with and reconnect with beautiful Mother Earth. You're encouraged to take some time in nature, connecting, receiving abundance of energy and magic she has to share. Okay, this is the best medicine for your soul right now. You may like to spend some time at the beach or go for a walk in the bush, visit a lovely waterfall or favorite place in nature where you feel at peace and we can be completely grounded. I think these two actually come together, so it's very much about being, the playfulness to be out in nature. Okay, and even if, say, you're sitting by a tree, you can still engage in some play, maybe just by sitting underneath a tree, taking, you know, something of your favorite sort of activity out and actually spending some time out in nature. All right, obviously if you have children, they're really easy sources of playmates. You know, children are always fun to play with, and they're also really fun to engage in some kind of laughter and, you know, spontaneous presence. So I think I'm just going to pull one more last card here, and we're going to do the surrender cards. Okay, so let's ask her, what is it that we need to surrender in the course of the week from the 18th to the 25th or beyond? So whoever watches this at any point, this is a surrender card for this particular reading. Nothing. All right, okay, so first the card that popped out here is to let go of fearful stories you are telling yourself. Stay in the moment. All right, so again, it brings it to, I have a feeling there's going to be some kind of out of the blue situation coming in for some of you. All right, and you really want to hold on to your solar plexus, so very much a solar plexus color as well. So hold on to your power, all right, by actually staying grounded and centered. All right, your solar plexus is your center, and by staying grounded also, like a big rooted tree, if anything comes towards you, you know, you're just going to sort of perhaps maybe just bend slightly, but you're not going to keel over, and that's really important. And do not let your fear get in the way of a possibility. Okay, it says here that, like I said, there is more than one path. So if a particular path decides to sort of burn itself down, or you lose that sense of place on your path, do not be afraid. If something suddenly gets taken away unexpectedly, just know that it's the divine working on your behalf. Okay, and you know, you can actually just repeat that. So the affirmation here is, let go of the fearful stories you are telling yourself. Stay in the moment. Focus on solutions. All right, which is what we said about what you feel and bringing it into form. Focus on solutions. What do I need to do to move forward? What do I need to get in place to do that? What resources have I got? Who can I get in touch with to make whatever my next step happen? All right, but so focus on solutions and celebrate every baby step forward, which is very much what this card is. You see how it's taking each step forward as it's bringing to form, as well as taking each step moment to moment. You know, often we can't see our way that far ahead, and we get very impatient and very afraid of what's next. You know, and the best thing we can do, and really for the advice for me to you guys, right, is take each step as it comes and let the next step take you to the next step. All right, so instead of trying to figure it all out, you know, sometimes we can't have the answers straight away. So just trust that every step that you'll take is taking you forward, and each step is going to reveal the next step forward. So I am so going to leave it here. I want to keep these readings a bit shorter, and I think I've covered quite a lot of ground here. So I wish you all the best for this week's reading. Do let me know if any of this has resonated for you. I'm sometimes amazed. I actually go back to listen to my own vlogs here, because I actually am amazed how they also kind of correlate in what shows up for me. And like I often say, do come back to them sometimes, you know, towards the week. Okay, there's 7 days in that, you know, in the reading, but you might find that you might want to, so by the time you get around to listening to it, you might have already experienced some of it, or you'll just got some kind of awareness around the reading. But I hope you have some nuggets of inspiration through my reading, and yeah, I wish you all the best. Lots of love. All my details to do with readings and all the other services are on my website and in the link below. If you've got any particular questions you might want to ask me, do feel free to drop me a comment or drop me a line through my website. So thanks again for listening. I will catch you next week. Bye for now. Bye. Well, here we are again. The usual. Okay, what I did do, as you know, I said I'd open some angel cards. I happened to open 7, but I decided to bring 3 into the reading. But as I was turning these other angel cards over, I really felt that there was a lot of correlation and angel messages. So if you're up for the angel messages, you know, and we'll spend another 5 minutes here, then do. Otherwise, you know, you can switch it off here and just quit the video. But what I do want to bring in is one of the cards I've got. Now these cards with me, I think they've been with me for 20 years, 30 years. I am going to get a new set soon. But this is the card of honesty. I mean, they're so battered. They've been so overused over the years. They're such lovely, sweet cards. So I was talking about being in integrity, and the word honesty is another factor here. You've got to be really honest with yourself. You might need to speak up and be honest. Okay, so I feel that the guidance we're getting at the moment is to be honest, possibly with the employer, at least with yourself, because when you can be honest with yourself, then you can be honest with anybody else around you. All right, but it is important because also the other factor is you can be honest with yourself, but be too afraid to speak up. So I will say this, the breakthrough might be for you to actually be honest and speak up for yourself and put a boundary in the right place, and you might actually have a breakthrough around that. But honesty is for whoever it is. There's a message there, okay, about honesty. So wherever that applies to you in your life, be honest, or be at least honest to yourself. The other thing I want to bring in is we have the angel of tenderness here, and I feel like there could be a possibility of something completely out of the blue coming in, things that can rock your world, things that can put you off on an uneven keel. It's really important for you to be quite tender and gentle with yourself as well. So while we had the card of playfulness to do with the heart chakra, I really recommend that you are really gentle and tender to yourself. Okay, there's an image, again, it's so teeny. The angel's got a cat there. Okay, now she's stroking a cat. So again, bring that sort of gentleness as if you're stroking a cat gently. Stroke yourself, in the sense, nurture yourself gently and speak to yourself gently. So again, if something happens out of the blue, do not, berate yourself or think how stupid I am, or I shouldn't have said that, or maybe I should have done that, and that was a really stupid thing to do, or I shouldn't. I want you to bring a lot of love, a lot of TLC into yourself. Be good to yourself and treat yourself with such tenderness as if you would a little child, or a cat, or any gentle animal. Okay, and you just sometimes got to treat. We're very good at treating animals or a pet in such gentle manners, but we don't actually do that often for ourselves. So that's just a reminder for the week to be tender. Okay, the other card I pulled out was simplicity. So I feel like in some way we really want to keep things simple. So again, there could be possible chaos around, and again, things could be falling apart, or things could be just falling all over the place, or it may feel that we don't know how to pick up the pieces, or it may be like we need to, in our head there are so many things going on. I really suggest, I kind of feel like what I need to say here is to keep things simple. Again, take things step by step, go moment to moment. Do not complicate the issue by overthinking things and trying to sort of see things too far into the future. Definitely not the way forward. Keep it simple, okay, as much as you can, and keep things out or people out that tend to actually exhaust you or get in the way of your simple life. Okay, now simplicity is the key, all right, to a much more harmonious life. I would basically keep things as simple as possibly, and very little distractions if possible. All right, because the next kind of card I want to talk about and bring into the fore is creativity. So again, you're being asked to maybe tap into your creativity, or go out and look at some creative inspiration if you can. All right, so that could be found in nature, or certain you might find some ideas through books or through the screen, or even to be honest, I'm not quite sure if any galleries are open or anything like that, but there is some inspiration that will be coming to you regarding some creativity. Or definitely go and have fun and tap into some kind of creativity, okay, because there is that message that has come through. I think that's also linked very much to inspiration. So you might actually find yourself getting inspired by being playful and just being creative that way. But creativity, again, if it speaks to somebody, really own that word for yourself this week, and see what creative endeavor or something creative that you can do to enhance your life that will bring more possibilities. And last but not least, we have the angel of synthesis. So I feel like in some way there'll be some elements or things coming together. Okay, so, you know, in some way there is a rainbow at the end of a storm or after some rain. And I feel like whatever's happening, just trust that there is some possible beauty or something coming together like a rainbow, okay, which is kind of like a really wishful, some great possibility coming through that maybe you wouldn't even had imagined that was going to appear. All right, maybe after all the work you've done on yourself, as well as all the work that you've actually put out physically, there is some comeback, some great news, which could be the breakthrough. Also, on the other hand, it could mean that maybe possibly again working on your chakras will keep you very much grounded and together. Okay, a synthesis of yourself. Take whatever resonates for you. I really, really, truly hope that you've got something out of this. So yeah, do leave any comments and let me know if any of it has spoken to you. Always good to have that feedback, and I do love it when people have fed that back, sort of saying that they were amazed how the reading has touched them, or have thought I'd really resonated with them. And it makes me feel that we're on the right track here for me to be the messenger for your journey and for your life path. So again, I should leave it here. I hope that a little extra on the angel cards has helped you along the way, and I will definitely catch you next week. Bye for now. Bye.